Your brain is deleting everything you study, your brain is lying to you right now, and it's costing you hours every single week. You think you're learning, but your brain is literally deleting information as fast as you're putting it in. And the worst part? You have no idea it's happening. Let me prove it to you. Remember what you studied 3 days ago? Try to explain it out loud right now. Struggling, right? Your brain made you think you knew it, but that was just an illusion. And this is happening every single time you study. Here's what nobody tells you about your brain. It wasn't designed for studying. It wasn't built for memorizing textbooks or acing exams. Your brain was designed for survival, for remembering where food is and what tried to eat you last week. That's it. So when you sit down with your biology notes or math problems, your brain treats it like spam email and deletes it. Unless you understand how your brain actually works, you'll keep losing this battle. Your brain has a built-in delete button. It's called the forgetting curve, and it's working against you right now. Within 20 minutes, you've already forgotten 40% of what you just learned. By tomorrow, 70% is gone. By next week, you remember less than 10%. This isn't a you problem. This is a brain problem. Your brain is constantly pruning connections it thinks you don't need to save energy. Think about it like this, your brain uses 20% of your body's energy just sitting there, so it's obsessed with efficiency. If you're not using information, your brain literally dissolves those neural pathways. Now here's where students completely mess this up. They study in a way that actually triggers their brain to delete faster. Let me show you the 3 massive mistakes. Mistake 1, you're feeding your brain when it's already full. Ever try to pour water into a cup that's already overflowing? That's what happens when you study for 4 hours straight. Your brain has a limit called cognitive load. After about 25 minutes, your brain's working memory is maxed out. Your working memory is like RAM in a computer. It can only hold so much at once. Once it's full, new information just bounces off. Nothing sticks. First 25 minutes, your prefrontal cortex is engaged, neurons firing, real learning happening. Next 25 minutes, retention drops by 40%. By hour 2, you're retaining less than 15%. By hour 3, your brain has completely checked out. Mistake 2. You're not giving your brain what it craves, struggle. Here's something wild, your brain only builds strong neural pathways when it has to fight for information. When things come easy, your brain says we don't need to remember this. But when your brain has to struggle to retrieve something, it thinks this must be important. This is why rereading doesn't work. When you reread your notes, your brain recognizes the information and goes, yeah, I've seen this before. But recognition isn't memory. Recognition is passive. Memory is active. When you struggle to remember something, your brain releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's literally fertilizer for your neurons. The more you struggle in a healthy way, the more BDNF gets released, the stronger those memory pathways become. Mistake 3, you're ignoring your brain's sleep system. Your brain consolidates memories during sleep, specifically during deep sleep and REM. When you sleep, your brain replays the day's information, strengthens important connections, and prunes weak ones. Without sleep, this process doesn't happen. You can study for 10 hours, but if you don't sleep, those memories never get properly stored. Your brain decides what to keep based on repetition over time. If you cram everything in one night, your brain goes, this was a one-time thing, probably not important, delete. Now let me show you what actually works. The brain-based study method. 3 core principles that work with your brain's natural systems. Principle 1, work with your brain's energy cycles. Here's the optimal cycle, 25 minutes of focused learning, one topic, full attention. Then 5 minutes of forced retrieval. Close everything, try to write or say out loud what you just learned. This is where the magic happens. Then 5-minute break. Move your body, look outside, hydrate. Repeat this 3 times, then take a 20-minute break. Why does this work? The 25 minutes keeps you in peak cognitive load range. The forced retrieval triggers that struggle response, releasing BDNF. The break allows your brain to consolidate information. Your brain has 2 modes, focused mode when you're actively studying, and diffuse mode when you're relaxed. Both are essential, but most students only use focused mode. Principle 2, leverage your brain's spacing effect. If you see information once, your brain creates a weak neural pathway. If you see it again the next day, your brain strengthens that pathway. If you see it again 3 days later, pathway gets stronger. If you see it again a week later, that pathway becomes a superhighway, permanent memory. The perfect review schedule: Day 1, learn the material. Day 2, quick retrieval test. Day 4, retrieval again. Day 7, retrieval. Day 14, retrieval. Day 30, final retrieval, permanent storage achieved. This works because you're hitting your brain right at the edge of forgetting. That struggle to remember triggers massive BDNF release, stronger connections. Principle 3, activate your brain's emotion centers. Your hippocampus processes new memories, but it's connected directly to your amygdala, your emotion center. When information has emotional weight or connects to existing knowledge, your brain prioritizes it. This is why you remember embarrassing moments from years ago but forget what you studied last week. So make boring material emotionally significant by connecting new information to things you already care about. For every new concept, ask, what does this remind me of from my own life? How is this similar to something I already know? If I had to explain this to my friend, how would I do it? For example, learning about neurons. Don't just memorize that neurons send electrical signals. Instead, think, neurons are like a massive group chat in your brain, sending messages at lightning speed. When you learn something new, it's like adding new people to the chat. Here's your daily brain routine. Morning. Spend 3 minutes doing a brain dump, write down anything you studied yesterday. No notes, just pure retrieval. During study sessions, use the 25-5-5 cycle. 25 minutes learning, 5 minutes forced retrieval, 5 minutes break. Do this 3 times. Evening, before bed, spend 10 minutes reviewing your retrieval attempts from earlier. Notice what you forgot, study only those gaps. Then teach it to your brain one more time before sleep. Explain the concept out loud. During the first 90 minutes of sleep, your brain will replay today's most important information. Here's the time math. Student A studies 20 hours using passive rereading, their brain retains maybe 15%. That's 17 hours wasted. Student B studies 8 hours using retrieval, their brain retains 75%. That's 6 hours of actual learning. Student B learned more in 8 hours than student A did in 20. A 2024 neuroscience study tracked students using retrieval practice versus passive review. The retrieval group showed 250% more neural pathway growth. They scored 45% higher on tests. They retained information 3 times longer. And they reported lower stress levels. So why doesn't everyone study this way? Because your brain resists it. Passive reviewing feels easier. Retrieval practice feels hard. But your brain is optimizing for the wrong thing. Your brain wants to conserve energy right now, but you want results later. Here's your action plan. Starting tomorrow, pick one subject. After studying for 25 minutes, notice how much you actually forgot. Next day, spend 2 minutes trying to recall yesterday's retrieval. Study only what's gone. Do this for 1 week, and watch what happens. You'll walk into a quiz and information will just be there, not because you got lucky, but because you built actual neural pathways. The information is hardwired into your cortex, ready to use. The students who seem naturally smart aren't. They just figured out how their brain works. And now you know too. Your brain is the most powerful learning machine in the known universe, but only if you use it right. Every day you wait is another day of information your brain is deleting. Your brain is ready to build superhighways of knowledge. The question is, will you give it what it needs? The method is here. The neuroscience is proven. Let's rewire it. Subscribe for more Brain Explained.